and welcome to another episode of Father Mahoney's House of Horrors. Today, I am no longer Father Mahoney for the day. I am he who walks behind the rose, and I am joined by Mr. Producer himself, the king of producing, Aaron Poe.
Are you ready? That's all I can think of. That fucking corn, chilling in the corn. Are you ready?
Yeah, imagine if the Children of the Corn just did their own movie called Children of the Corn with the K.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they have a song called Children of the Corn, though.
They do. They did. Believe it's on Follow the Leader album, and Ice Cube is part of that song. So, yeah.
But I mean, they should have like a short film where they just kind of do their own impersonation, except they kill all the kids instead of the adults.
Oh, God.
We're already going down the rabbit hole.
I know. Shoot. Yeah, let's get it started, man. I do want to just touch on it. You want to touch on just a little something? We were going to have William Von Grimm, and you know his aunt is not doing too well, and growing up with William staying at his house and everything, on the weekends and stuff, she would always tell us to clean up your mess, and what are y'all watching now? And we'd be watching like a horror movie or something. So my heart's out to that family because I've known them forever, and unfortunately, he had to cancel on us, but he will be on a future episode of Father Mahoney.
Definitely. When you let me know what was going on, I was just like, no, he doesn't need to apologize. And I told him that. I did talk to him a little bit after, and I did send out prayers. So prayers go out right now to William and his family. So
yes, so I just wanted to touch on that because I mean she means a lot to me too. Just growing up around that, just growing up around her and being at William's house. So hopefully she gets better, and hopefully we hear good news going forward.
We're here for you. We're here for you, brother.
Yes, sir. So I just wanted to get that out of the way.
Yeah,
just let people know because I know we kind of advertised it and stuff that he was going to be on.
That's all right. And I also want to give a shout out to the new theme song. It's called Dead Eyes by Evil X. They are on Spotify. Go check them out. I've known this guy for years. In fact, there's a little story I told on Backwards Horror, I believe it was, where it was actually the House of Horrors with Troy. We were talking about Dimebag Darrell. And, the place he got shot, I actually saw this band at that place. So,
that's the band. Yeah, because you were talking. Yeah, I remember that story. Yeah, I remember you talking about that.
Except he was in a band called Epic at the time, and he was the lead guitarist and the vocalist. In this one, he's just the guitarist right now. So, he's heavily influenced by Iron Maiden and Pantera, Slayer. So you can hear a little bit about in that riff that you played our new theme song.
Yeah.
So,
no, I really dig the song. I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. I like there's that one distinctive part where it's like, wow, wow, wow. It kind of sounds like that era of metal. Yeah, I was like, oh man, they touched on that. That's pretty good. So
yeah, I think it has almost a little bit of Alice in Chains influence too, because Man in the Box has that same kind of wow, wow. Yeah. So. But so welcome again to another episode of Father Mahoney House of Horror. Later on, we will be talking about Children of the Corn. But I want to actually start the show by talking about a little video I just did recently about what I call the 4 icons of horror. And before I go any further, I just have to touch on one of the comments said there's no such thing as 4. There's only 3 icons of horror. And he doesn't include Leatherface. He said that Leatherface isn't a serial killer, which I don't get that one, but anyways, so he has a chainsaw, he kills people. That's a killer to me. Anyways, so I got a lot of feedback on this one. There were some people that really liked it, and then there were some people that were just almost like blasphemy. You can't be a horror fan.
Crucify.
Yeah, we talked about this a little bit on the phone. How some of these icons over the years, like the Draculas and the Mummy and Frankenstein, they all became like a fixture for years, and they kind of ran that path. And I think this is the same thing that's going on with what I call the big four. Is I believe this is my philosophy, and if you want to disagree, or if anybody in the chat wants to disagree, tell me what you think. But my philosophy is, if you're going to take over a franchise like Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween, Friday the 13th, do your friggin' homework before you do. Because half of these sequels make no sense whatsoever, not following the storyline, not following like the rules of like when I touched on Nightmare on Elm Street, it's not following the rules about the dream sequence and how you can only get killed in your dreams, and then all of a sudden he jumps out into the pool. He's like, "You are all my children now," and I'm like, "Hello, they're not asleep." But that's not my problem. My problem is it's now 40-something, 50-something years later for some of these franchises now, and they're just throwing out sequels just with the name, and they're all cash cows to me. They are. What are your thoughts on this?
No, I tend to agree with you on that aspect of it. And my thing is, okay, it's always known as the big three, but Leatherface kind of gets shoved to the side. But I really do consider it. Like when you think of horror franchises, Texas Chainsaw Massacre is one of them. It always has been. Well, now you also got, dare I say, it could be the 5 or maybe even 6, because you got the Scream franchise as well. Ghostface has already made himself a staple in, horror as well.
I mentioned that in my video too. I talk up later about how at least Scream is following the storyline from part 1. You still get the references to Billy Loomis. You still get the references to the town. You're still getting references to people who have passed. So at least they're following the rules of and whoever's directing these now, they're doing a great job bringing up some of the past and bringing up Easter eggs, and they're doing a great job. But my biggest one is Halloween. So. And before I say anything, I am a huge Michael Myers fan. I am.
Yeah.
But there is no consistent timeline whatsoever that you can tell to a new viewer. So I'm just going to use a fictional name. Say I'd take Joey in, and Joey's like, "Hey, what's this movie Halloween?" There is no way I'm going to be able to explain every single Michael Myers universe.
No.
Yeah, there's none. See, you got the original 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, and then of course Resurrection, which should be burned to hell. But that's that's another podcast. And then of course you have Rob Zombie that took it over. You have the standalone film with Season of the Witch. Then you have H2O, which totally ignores 3 through 7, and then you have Laurie Strode coming back and eliminating the greatest sequel in horror movie history, Halloween 2.
Yeah,
and now she's not Michael's sister, and she has a new family, and I'm like, wow, like this is an exploding head. If I ever saw one.
I agree where you said it's a lot of this is cash grab, I really do believe that. And I really think that it's time for some new stuff to start coming out with, like new blood. Like, I mean, look at Art the Clown, how that's blew up. You know what I mean? Part 3 has been, is going to be made. Part Terrifier 3 will be made.
Yeah, and it's going to have a huge budget too.
Oh, and rightfully so. I mean, they created something. They kind of followed the formula of what came before them. Freddy and Jason and all that. Yes, we all love these characters. We all love them. And all these other movies and franchise. David Gordon Green's vision on Halloween, and I will say this: I am glad that Hellraiser did get the remake it got. I thought that was I'm one of the weird ones. I actually really liked it. There's a lot of people that hated it. But if you look at it, they kind of follow the book as well on the newer one. Instead of like which, all those will hold a special place. I get what you're saying. I think I know where you got the hate from, because everybody's like, well, how dare you say? You're like, I still love this stuff. I'm just making an observation, this stuff, give me something different, wow me a different way or something, and you can't win, though. You really can't.
Exactly.
It's like losing battle, dude. It really is.
And once it got to like Halloween Ends, the biggest thing I heard was, "Oh, Michael's so frail, and he's 60-something years old.
What do you want him in a wheelchair?"
Yeah. I actually was intrigued by the Corey character. I thought maybe they were passing the torch at that point. So like, if they do another Halloween, I would love to see the adventures of Corey now, like, taking over this. Maybe Michael gave him, how Michael had that hold on Daniel Harris's character. Like, maybe like he got a hold of this kid before Michael bit the dust, and now he's going to be the menace of Haddonfield. I would go see that. I would not go see a guy in a wheelchair trying to kill people, like 70-something years old, on his cane trying to chase people down. It's over now. I'm sorry. That's what he's over.
He's ran his course. I really believe that. I don't know how other. We got someone in the chat, Terror Express, and they said howdy back to you.
That's Jason Bradford. Hey, Jason.
And then he said, yes, Halloween 2 is my favorite in the series, not the zombie one. Mine too. Halloween 2 is right up there. I really enjoyed that one.
Oh, and I'll say one great thing about Halloween 2 is the score itself is double of the original.
Yeah.
And it almost is like another character. And if you think about it, it's like, because when that score hits, it's like it gets you right on your seat. And especially that scene when she's trying to get to the elevator and Michael's coming down that staircase ever so slowly. Oh my God. Like, to this day, I still get like goosebumps in that scene alone.
Well, yeah, you're right. I mean, but going back to all this, I really don't think we're going to see much coming, because I just saw like the writers are on strike, and so are the actors. Yeah. So we're not going to see. I don't think we're going to see anything new for a while. I mean, we'll see new stuff, but it's stuff that's already been made that's going to be coming out. I'm talking about in another year or so, we're not going to see much of anything because of this. Elevators still freak me out because
the other complaint I got was that the timeline for Texas Chainsaw 3D is perfect, and I'm sitting there going, "What?
No.
What?
No."
She had this kid supposedly after the tragedies of what happened, and then that was supposed to be a direct sequel to the original, and then this girl who's like 20-something.
Yeah.
Comes in her. Hello, it's been like 40-something years.
Yeah.
How is she only 24? Well, even if the benefit of the doubt, she was probably 27. And I'm just saying, benefit of the doubt. It still throws the timeline
off. And then they also made that one horrendous movie. I didn't even finish it. Leatherface.
Yeah, the UK one.
Yes, I was like, what? No, I mean that was total horse shit. It really was.
Yeah. That's a standalone film to me.
But and I think we've already talked it to death, because we all saw the newer version of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which I really enjoyed, the gore and everything, but the storyline of it I really didn't care for.
And then I'm trying to make it woke too, like. You're going to get canceled, bro. It's like, stop. we have to see that shit every day in the world. Leave the movies alone.
They kind of made fun of it too, which kind of saved it, I thought. But I hear what you're saying.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I kind of agree with you, man. It's like, is it time for some? some new blood to come out, some new characters, something different instead of the same thing. Like we know that with these iconic names, you're gonna make some money from it. But when are you gonna give us something different, something new? And I think they tried to do that with the Halloween Ends, and everybody freaked out about it.
Yeah,
and now they're not gonna do it because of the backlash they got from it. You know what I mean?
Yep,
they really did, and it's like. That's why we can't have anything nice, people.
And then finally, I'll just touch quickly on the other two. So Nightmare on 3, they had the remake, which a lot of people didn't enjoy. I didn't think it was terrible, but I could see why people were hating on it. Like we said on the phone, it was too close to Freddy vs. Jason, and I think they should have gave it some maybe 10, 20 years, like maybe 15 years. At least before you did a remake.
Oh, hey, we got someone. He walks behind the hose.
Am I too late for the corn cobbing?
No,
not yet. We're talking about my video right now that got a lot of backlash about the big four should retire.
Yeah, fuck them all.
Yeah. There we go. Well said. And quickly, just about Friday the 13th. Now, I think this one is the only one that might get a pass for me. And the reason being is because with the whole fucking lawsuit that destroyed everything Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
I think it deserves maybe one more movie just to kind of like close it out.
That's who we need to sacrifice to he who walks behind the rolls. Fucking Victor Miller. That old bastard. Oh, that son of a bitch.
I'm telling you what, they totally turned me off from the whole thing. Like, and I don't know. I am curious about, Crystal Lake and all this stuff, but he just ruined it. Why did you even get him?
Greed. The one word. Greed. Yeah. Victor Miller. And it's not like I'm the biggest fan of fuck, why am I drawing a blank now? The director, Sean Cunningham. Yes, thank you. It's not like I'm the biggest fan of him and don't think he's a douchebag, but I do think he is 100% in the right in this. Victor Miller was hired as a freelance screenwriter. Mm-hmm. He has no claim, and I'll say that on record right now. Victor Miller has no claims to the character of Jason and what Sean Cunningham developed him into, and many other great artists. But Victor Miller is just a greedy old man, and he needs to go the way of what was the old man in Tales from the Dark Side movie that killed all the cats, and the cat come back and killed him. Crawled down his fucking throat.
I know what you're talking about. I can't remember his name.
That needs to be Victor Miller.
Yeah.
But I say that with a lot of love. So, Victor Miller, we still love you. We just want you to die horribly.
We still love you, but die.
Maybe someone will make a fan film about Victor Miller getting killed by Jason.
He wants you too, Victor Miller.
Oh, shit. But yeah, so anyone that has backlash against my video, tell me about it instead of just being bitching about like what I said. Tell me your views. Tell me what you think instead of, there's only big three.
Yeah.
Fuck you. This is raw being as toxic as I can right now because I'm not that toxic person anymore. But this is a little bit toxicity because fuck you. Like, you can have the big 69 if you want, but
well, like we were talking about earlier on the phone, the slasher genre of the 80s is basically our generation's Universal monsters.
Yeah.
And you got to look at the lifespan of the Universal monsters. We started in 1931 with Dracula, and by the mid-late 50s, it was pretty well played out. And then Hammer did a little revival of it, which it was a short-lived revival in the '60s. It's not like it was. It didn't have. Yes, it did. It gained a cult following. Andy Warhol's Hammer films, but it still did not have the gravitas of the original Universal monsters. It wasn't reinventing the wheel like those films did. Or not even reinventing the wheel, in inventing the wheel. But and look at how many times they've tried to redo Dracula, especially, and even Frankenstein and all the other Universal monsters, and it just falls flat because we always have those originals to go back to that hold such a special place for so many of us genre fans, and we're getting, I'm afraid, as much as I hate to say it, we're getting old, and I think we're getting older, and I think we're getting to that point with the 80s slasher icons. They're sure, we still love them, but they don't connect with the younger generation the way they did with us.
Good point.
They want their new stuff. Just like when Scream came out, which was kind of odd. Mid '90s. It still kind of caught on to all of our generation. It was just like that breath of fresh air we needed.
Yeah.
And it's a great bridge movie for when you're watching, like my kids, my older kids, I've let watch it, you guys know my oldest daughter's named after the lead character from Scream, and they can watch them and have fun with them too. It kind of bridges that generation gap, and that's what although I'm not the hugest fan of that franchise, I love that it does that for genre fans of different generations.
I totally agree there too, because I was there on day one when Scream came out, and I had the greatest time. It was so fun seeing, like, especially when Randy introduced the rules, and we're all just like, "Yep, he's right there.
That's us. Yeah, right here. Yeah.
I'll be right back." But yeah, like, Randy's the character. That was me. Randy was me when I was younger. Like, I was the one that was hanging out in the horror section all the time. I'm the one that was like, "Oh, don't take a shower now. Don't go up the stairs. What the hell are you going up the stairs for? When you try to get away?" That was me.
I think that's the main reason that movie was such a huge hit. Is and on top of that, the slasher genre had pretty much died out by then.
Yeah,
and all of us kids who grew up in the '80s loving those films, when we saw that, it was like that movie spoke to us, because, like, hey, like I said, that's us. This is like giving credit to us. Recognizing the horror fans of the '80s, and I think that is the key to that series longevity.
Yeah. And like I was telling Poe before you joined us, is at least they're still following the same storyline and rules. Yeah. Where a lot of these other ones, it's like Texas Chainsaw, Leatherface has a different family every movie. Like what's up with that? Like, and they don't recognize the last one. Like, they don't talk about anything. They don't bring up Sally or anything until, like, later on, when of course they do the reboot. But it's sad to see how not preserved, I guess that's the best word, that these sequels don't take into account what happened earlier. And if I'm someone that's coming into the movie business and I say, "Hey, I want to make a Nightmare on Elm Street series," my first thing is I'm going to sit down and watch all the ones before, and I'm going to try to make sense to the viewer of what they're seeing in this movie, so that they can remember, like, "Oh, hey, yeah, there was this Nancy that survived. Hey, there was Alice that was survived." I would be bringing those little Easter eggs to kind of, like, bridge that gap to make it make sense. Like, some of these movies, they make no sense.
Well, I think a big part of it back then was, especially in the early '80s, before all the movie networks and everything, a lot of these films, you go to see them in the theater, and yeah, they might come out with the sequel the next year, but the last time you had seen it was when it ran at the theater, because back then, remember the VHS turnover on a lot of the theatrical releases was at least a year.
Oh yeah.
So a lot of them, I'm sure, the producers would be like, they're not going to remember that. Just do whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Make us money.
Friday the 13th was doing a good job for a while. Like you would always tell the story of Jason jumping out of the lake, and like in part 2, when let me tell you about Jason, the whole campfire scene. That was great. Like people I think, at least me, I want to remember things that happened in the last movie, and I think that's why I like the beginnings of those, because it was like a recap of what happened in the last movie. Not that I would forgot, but it was like nice to get just reminded and then jump into the next movie right from there. But these sequels now, especially the Texas Chainsaw ones, like me and Poe were talking about that atrocity, the UK one called Leatherface, and I'm seriously, like, I watched the whole thing, and all I could think about is, what did I fucking just watch?
It was terrible.
It was like who done it? Like, remember, like they were trying to figure out which one was and of course I thought it was the big kid the whole time, and it ended up being like the normaler one, the skinnier kid, and I'm like, okay, that's Jason. Yeah, I'm not afraid anymore. Like
I gotta give him that though, for trying to do something different with it.
Yeah,
even though it didn't work, at least that they broke the formula.
And the other thing I mentioned to Poe. Oh, go ahead, Aaron.
No, I was just saying. But your point was like we need something new, like instead of the same old, instead of trying to formula. And sometimes it works, out badass, and then sometimes a big pile of dog shit. Yeah. Like it's just it's. I get what you were doing with the video. I really do. Yeah. Like I was like, yeah, you're pretty much right. I think everybody's already seen what you can do. You can't twist the story anymore. You had Rob Zombie do his version of Halloween where Michael, which one? Michael Myers had a broken home and all that, and his mom was a stripper, his stepdad was a piece of shit, and then he became a murderer. And then you have what we know as Michael Myers in the Halloween franchise and everything. And then the same thing with, Freddy, his story. And then they tried to do the reboot, and it was like, you're just rehashing it with a different actor. They didn't try to, Rob Zombie at least tried to change it up a bit. Like he kind of just twisted, instead of just being a psychotic little bastard that killed his, sister, it showed his environment of, violence and hate, and that's where he got all that from.
I really enjoyed the first half of that movie until it goes to the asylum. Where it falls apart for me is when they start in the second half, which Rob Zombie didn't want to do. He was forced into it from the Weinsteins. He didn't want to have any similarity. Well, he didn't want to follow the plot of the original Halloween. And they insisted. They said, "Do you have to do this? You have to do this, this, and this." And that's where the movie really falls apart, in my opinion. I love the first part with little Michael Myers, and I'm glad they did do that with the original. I don't think it would have worked, but I like for a Rob Zombie film, it worked.
Yeah, but how can you do it different now? You can't really do it different now. You just can't.
No.
Well, we're getting to the point, like with the Universal monsters, Dracula. It's been done to death, and as much as I hate to say it, it's time to move on. As much as I would love to see another Friday the 13th film, or a good non-David Gordon Green directed Halloween film, I just don't. I think we're just at this point we're just setting ourselves up. If we're expecting greatness out of any of these franchises, we're kind of just setting ourselves up for disappointment.
Well, didn't David Gordon Green's next one is going to be The Exorcist?
Exorcist, yeah, fuck him.
Well, plus think about it is when they
with a lot of love in my heart.
Yeah.
Fuck David Gordon Green.
Think about the early entries of some of these too. These were done like with simpler money, no name actors, and now they're trying to get friggin' Anthony Michael Hall that plays like in Tommy. It's like just keep with the formula. Like the formula worked.
Was there anybody that wouldn't have rather seen the original Tommy Doyle since they brought back?
Yeah.
The only reason they brought back the original Lindsay Wallace is because was on that Real Housewives show.
Yeah,
and had a following. You know,
she can be my housewife.
It's not like she's been acting.
She can definitely be my housewife any day of the week.
Get deep. Real Housewives of Mahoneygate.
Coming soon to a theater near you. or is that coming soon to a theater near you?
I had to go there.
So speaking of broken franchises, that brings us to our topic today.
Oh, God.
Yeah. If you have that music that you play from the backstage.
We got it. There you go.
Nice. Maybe I should have had this contest instead. With the sound effects of the entrance music. All the variations people would do. So yeah, we were talking about broken franchises, and here's another one. But we're just going to mostly focus on the original.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, the 1984 classic. I did a little research, and it was made with just under $3 million budget, believe it or not.
Huh.
And it grossed, I believe it was $42 million. So, yeah, it did pretty well, you know. Not with forsaking all the sequels that came after it that killed it, but
in the early days of Stephen King adaptations,
dude, this is when he was like a hot item. Like, anything with his name on it was like, yeah, grab it.
He's still a hot item, though. I mean,
I don't know about the latest movies that he had, but yeah, I mean, I could have done without Dreamcatcher. Dreamcatcher was. I'm talking about 1984 when you had just banger after banger coming out.
Yeah, Christine, and you had the big names coming in to direct them too.
Yeah.
Yep. So 1984, we get introduced to He Who Walks Behind the Rose. That is me, by the way. I've been undercover all these years.
You kind of look like him with the hat on right there.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
I want one of those Amish hats. I need to get one. In fact, I'll be back. I'm gonna go order one on eBay. I'll be back.
Oh no!
Was it part 5 that they had the guy, the preacher who looked like was it Michael Ironside? I think Michael Ironside was in part 5, and he wears a hat just like this, by the way.
And he was on set. I'm guessing for like one day. Because he's in the movie like in 2 parts, and he has like 4 or 5 lines, and that's about it.
Something like that, 4 or 5 lines.
And he was top billed in the film.
I know.
Yeah, but Michael Ironside's badass.
But we're getting off the original. But so the original introduces us to one I think is one of the best intros in horror history. I'm going to go on a wire. I love the introduction to this movie. You know, you have Job and his father coming up from church, going over to the diner, and Job's giving that little monologue about like he Isaac and Malachi are out in the cornfield, and when I first heard, I'm like, what are they doing in the cornfield? Is this like an urban thing? Do you guys hang out in the cornfield where you are, Cody?
No, I mean, unless you're like, maybe they were ordering
we don't
Red Walker or something.
We're not Flatlanders.
Yeah, we're not Flatlanders.
Forget the Outlanders. We're not Flatlanders.
Yeah, you don't want to just go hang out in a cornfield. There's no reason for it.
So of course I'm thinking to myself, what the fuck they do in the cornfield? Anyways, they talk about Sarah being sick, and the father goes and make the phone call, and all of a sudden you see Malachi, and man, Malachi is, I will say, for a kid, he's a menacing figure. He has that look. He has that, like, his talking We'll get to that, by the way.
The great Courtney Gaines, yeah.
Yes, Courtney Gaines, yes.
Terribly underrated actor. I mean, he's still working, too. He's in the new The Wrath of Becky movie, the sequel to Becky.
Oh, shoot.
And, he plays one of the neo-Nazis in it alongside Stifler's Sean William Scott.
Well, that's an interesting duo. But,
they're both great comedic actors, so I'm interested in seeing.
Courtney Gaines was great. Go ahead.
From what I understand, Stifler, it's strictly for Sean William Scott. It was strictly in The Wrath of Becky, a straight like dramatic role. He's not funny at all in it, and Courtney Gaines is supposed to be like the comic relief in it. So that'd be interesting. You know, I almost want to see those guys in a buddy cop movie now.
Yeah, no, cool. But then you get that glimpse of Isaac looking through the window, and man, I got chills in that scene because you're saying, what the fuck's going on? And then you see the character Rachel, who's a waitress. By the way, I'm going to say, how did she get a waitress job if she's under 18 years old? But that's another point.
That was, yeah.
Sure, back then it was the 80s.
Yeah, I think you could work.
In Nebraska, man. Some freaky shit goes down in Nebraska.
Yeah, no, they like sleep with their own.
Oh, and there went your Nebraska.
Hey, don't say that so loud. I'm less than a mile from Arkansas.
There goes our Nebraska viewers.
All right. Yeah, well, truth hurts sometimes.
Yep. So yeah, you break apart, and then you see he's looking around. He sees the other kid locking the door, and I'm like, oh shit's about to go down now. And man, that's such a brutal scene. With the you don't get to see it, but you see the guy. Remember the kids are pulling the old man's hand over to the deli slicer.
Oh yeah,
I was like, man, these kids are going medieval, and I'm gonna have to have another episode where we talk about kids that scare us movies, because
there's a lot of
all five of mine.
I was afraid of all of those kids.
All five of my kids scare me
to death.
There's a Cody idea. Your girls know to make a Children of the Corn's home film.
I actually haven't watched it yet. I'm trying to rope my two oldest daughters who make the movies. I'm trying to rope them into doing a Blood Hook sequel, but I don't know if I got them talked into it yet.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be cool.
You need a hook. Yeah, you need to get that hooked in.
Probably have a bigger production value than the other one too.
Oh, I guarantee Kelsey could do better gore effects than the original Blood Hook.
Yeah. So, what you guys agree with me on that? The opening sequence is pretty intense.
Yeah, it's good stuff. I mean, true Stephen King fashion. But let's talk a little bit about Isaac. John Franklin, I believe, is the actor's name.
John Franklin. Yeah.
Well, Malachi, Courtney Gaines, I forget. He actually was a teenager for this film.
Yeah. John Franklin was 22, right? Was he 22?
25.
25.
And he looks younger than Malachi.
Yeah.
Another little fun fact is he played, and I did not know this until today, he played Cousin It in the Addams Family movie.
Really?
Yeah. I had no idea.
Wow. Did you know that, Poe?
Nope. We've done run him off.
He's probably squeezing the juices out of his loins right now. Oh, there he is. Welcome back.
We weren't talking bad about you, I promise.
Oh, I don't care. I need something to drink. I'm in a hot box right now. I'm in Texas, and I got a little air conditioner in my office, and it's bare. It's like the little engine that could over here. And I was like,
I feel you, brother. I'm in the attic, and I got a little 5,000 BTU cranking out here, and it ain't doing the job.
Are you drinking a PBR?
No,
I am not. There is a PBR shortage in my part of the country.
Oh no!
Fuck that Dylan Mulvaney. Fuck Dylan Mulvaney. That little bastard. He has made so many people in my part of the country quit all Anheuser-Busch products. It's hard to get any beer you like now.
Yeah.
Because any place you can go, you can get Anheuser-Busch products. They have them piled up. They're practically giving them away. They have them marked down. But
they have to give them away.
Good luck finding any non-Anheuser-Busch products.
Yeah.
Now that's an idea.
But
Cody brought up the
Yingling.
Like
oh, okay, good deal.
Yeah, Yuan Lang.
Yeah, Yuan.
What you said? Yeah,
it sounded like you said QAnon. Like QAnon made a beer for the conspiracy theorist and you. QAnon, quench your thirst.
Your sponsor, Joey T.
Oh my God,
Joey T should have his own clothing line of conspiracy stuff.
I know.
Joey T should have his own beer too, and most importantly, Joey T should have his own show on right here on Dog Shit Media.
No, he's calling it Dog Shit.
You see how it kind of rolls off your tongue?
I misnamed this network. I really did. I was like, oh,
you're off the ball.
I should have called it Dog Shit. I really should have.
At least it'll be straight to the point,
okay.
Right? You're
the
done.
Nuts are close enough to the shed.
You're done. Right. You're done. Be quiet.
So we fast forward to the introduction to our main characters, Bert and Vicky, played by Peter Horton and Linda Hamilton, which I think this was right after Terminator. It was like literally like right off the heels of Terminator. So I had just seen Terminator right before this too, so I was like, "Hey, it's Sarah Connor." Can you imagine Malachi's like, "Sarah Connor, you must get taken by he who walks behind the
me if you want to live, or come with me if you want to
she
die."
She should have brought some of that Sarah Connor energy to those little bastards. She would have kicked them all around, dude.
I know.
Yeah, but we're talking like Terminator 2, Sarah Connor.
Oh yeah, yes. Part 1 she was kind of weak too.
Yeah, part 1 she was a Chris.
Yeah, true.
But I actually like the character of Bert. He was supposed to be a doctor when he gets to California, and of course, he doesn't listen to the old man though. That's another unwritten rule. Every time there's an old man in a movie, listen to the fucking guy because they know what they're talking about.
He knows what's up. Yeah.
Yeah, he's trying to tell him, go to Hemingford. He's trying to tell you, dude, fuck Gatlin. Don't go there. They will kill you.
You can have.
Well, I wondered, why did this old man never think, to call the cops and say, "Hey, the kids over here, they killed all the adults. You might want to check this out." Yeah. There's something they kept him alive here.
What did they keep him alive for again? His gasoline?
Yeah.
Yeah, they kept him alive for his gasoline. Yeah,
but in these movies, like you said, no one listens to the old guy. You could have a old guy that's crazy. Like it's a dead curse. And then you got Herman Munster and freaking Pet Cemetery is like sometimes it's better to stay dead. And all this. Yeah, you could have different characters just because they're old. They just don't listen to him. Like, whatever, old man.
What I like about it, it's kind of a reflection of modern society. We're
it is. It is.
I say modern society. Society when we grew up, we're you kind of discredited the adults. We were in from the 60s on. In that whole rebellious. Stage, and now we're listening to an 80-year-old dementia patient who doesn't even he doesn't even understand what he's saying.
This is true.
Yeah.
I mean, what happened not listening to our elders?
Oh, I know. I agree. But that elder, I don't know. But the guy in Children of the Corn, I would definitely have listened to him because he was really trying to. That was like my red flag. Like, why does this guy not want me to stay in town? He keeps telling me to go to fucking Hemingford, and then of course they try to go to Hemingford, and all the signs are all fucked up, and that's a red flag right there to me.
Yeah,
when all the signs are like trying to like confuse you, and you're stuck in the fucking cornfield, there's something wrong with that.
And I can totally relate. I've never been to Nebraska, but I have been to Illinois several times. My ex-wife's family was from there, and every time we'd go up to visit them, it'd feel like we were driving hundreds of miles, and it'd be like, oh, look, on our left, corn. On our right, beans. Hey, we're coming to a junction, and it's all 90-degree junctions.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, look, another 50 miles of corn on the right. Mix it up a bit. Beans on our left.
So why do you think they pick corn? Couldn't they? Children of the grapes or
Children of the beans just didn't have that pop to it.
How about children of the marijuana sites?
Yeah. Oh, dude, there you go. Children
of the ganja.
Children of the weed. Of the cannabis.
That would be a great. Funny or Die needs to do a cut of that. It's like where all the kids are just sitting around in the smoking like, hey, you want to go kill all the adults?
Nah,
man. Nah.
It's funny. Children of the cannabis. That we just all right. We coined it here. Children of the cannabis needs to be like an updated version. It's like all these people are scared. Like, oh no! And you see all these kids come out and they're all like just stoned and shit. Like, what are you tripping, man? Like, aren't you gonna kill us? Nah, man. We're all about good times here.
Why?
He wants you too, man. He wants you too.
And then have them like, oh shit.
Yeah, Pauly Shore could be the old guy and goes,
oh, that would be perfect. That would be perfect.
Children of the cannabis. And they accidentally, it's like a Tucker and Dale situation. They accidentally kill people. Like, they don't mean like people are freaked out because of how they look. And
they accidentally kill all the adults. Yeah.
They're like, oh man, shouldn't have let that rake out, dude.
Yeah. But to me, the biggest red flag in this movie is when they finally do get to Gatlin. And, like, there's no cars except for trashed ones. There's corn everywhere. There's no people walking the sidewalk and streets. And I'm sitting there going, why aren't you the fuck out of there right now? This is a huge red flag.
Yeah.
Maybe we shouldn't hang around here.
It's been a while since I've seen it, but I'm assuming that the massacre at the beginning happened shortly before this, because those kids aren't keeping up the cornfields and shit, and planting crops and shit. I mean, what's their end game here? Is what I want to know.
Well, they're going to be the next Orville Redenbacher. That's why they're just killing off all the. Yeah,
all this corn is the next popcorn we make.
Yeah, this will be the mecca of corn.
Well, guys, this is the last of the corn. Enjoy yourselves.
Yeah, let's kill each other now. Whoever gets the last corn is the last survivor.
I don't know what the end game was.
What was their end game? Like, do they have a plan on like keeping this going? Because you can't reproduce now, so there can't be any younger kids.
In the comments, I just wanted to throw this out here real quick. I just saw the Terror Express has been commenting. He said, have a great night, everyone.
You too,
Thanks
sir.
for tuning in.
Thanks, Jason.
And you have a wonderful night, sir. Or ma'am. Or they, them, or...
Then there's babies of the corn.
Or...
The babies of the corn is next. Then sperm of the corn. It just keeps going. It's like Benjamin Button.
Today's narrative,
Muppet babies of the corn.
Yo, guys, with today's narrative, it'll be children of the trans.
Oh, it's the corn. Oh my God!
You too, Kermit.
He said he. I said sir, and then you're like sir, ma'am, or what? It's he. LOL.
Oh shit! So yeah,
Malachi, what are you doing over there?
What are you doing?
Waka waka! Fucking killing people.
Kermit, why are you killing me? It's not a great impression, but that was a decent one.
No, that one, man, not It was good enough.
So after they didn't notice the red flag, he's trying to figure out what's going on. He's going to the police station. He's going wherever he can. Then, of course, they go up. They drive away. They go by the empty house. Well, they think it's an empty house, but they hear music, and we get introduced to Sarah Connor. Not Sarah Connor. Sarah Connor, why are you playing music? It's against the rules. And of course you don't see Job right away, but she's trying to tell him about Isaac and Malachi and in the corn, and I'm like, that's another red flag to me. I'm like, okay, so there's no adults in this town, there's no cars, there's no businesses, but yet kids are in the corn. Go figure.
They're just hanging out.
Yeah, they're just hanging out, chilling, trying to look for their next sacrifice. And
hey, it's the '80s. We were still latchkey kids in the '80s.
Yeah,
a normal Sunday night in Gatlin. Well, then we get Bert's going back downtown again, and he leaves Vicky there alone. And what happens is Malachi shows up with trying to get Vicky. And for some reason, Bert looks at this. What is it? A dragon? It's a dragon picture with in the flame. He's spitting out fire into the corn, and somehow he has an epiphany that something's wrong from this picture. I'm like, you didn't notice there's no one in town yet, but so yeah.
Everything else, totally ignore it. But there's a picture that concerns you.
Oh, you know, he voted for Biden. Nothing wrong here. Nothing to see here. Move along.
So, of course, he runs to Vicky's help, and Vicky's gone at that point. So he's trying to talk to Sarah, who's this shy little girl, and she brings up about Malachi and Isaac, and he's like, what the fuck? Who are they people? So he ventures out into the cornfields, and is it that? Yeah. No, it's not that part. He hears the bell from the church. So he goes to the church, and they're performing some kind of weird fucking ritual, on I believe his name is Amos. It was his 18th birthday.
Moses was his name.
Moses. Yes. Walk on water for me, please.
Now we're seeing kids in the cornfield here.
I'm going to tell you.
And killed everybody in town.
I think the most intriguing character that we don't even get to realize is Rachel. We don't get enough Rachel in this movie because Rachel's character is pretty creepy in this. She's the one that's she's the one that has But I'm going to touch on Rachel a little bit later. Literally touch on Rachel. Anyways, so he gets away from me.
It's okay.
Rachel stabs him, and he runs out, and we get introduced to Job, who's at first glance now, I'd be afraid of all the kids because, one just stabbed me while doing a ritualistic thing on Amos. So I'd be afraid of all the kids at this point.
Shit, I'm terrified of all my kids. I mean, it's not a stretch.
Yeah. Children of the Robinsons coming soon to it. This is kind of an off sequel to Children of the Corn, but they all try to kill Cody.
Well, they really missed, which I will give the sequel, Children of the Corn 2, The Final Sacrifice. I'll give it credit because at least they played to the comedy on that. And this one, there were so many opportunities for great comedy in it, which that wasn't the thing in '84. Horror comedy didn't become a big thing till the later '80s. I understand that, but oh man, if they would have walked into town and done, which Gremlins came out in '84, right?
Yeah.
Just imagine if they would have went to the bar and they went to the bar scene with the kids instead of like in Gremlins, where you go there, the kids are doing flash dance and they're drinking and smoking 20 cigarettes and stuff, and they just went like, "What the fuck is going on here?"
Yeah. Well, there's no adult to do this, so someone has to strip her, you guys.
Or when the guy from 30-something, Sarah Connor's boyfriend, walks into the police station, and the kids are just in there with fake mustaches on. dressed as cops,
like
you
little
know.
rascals. Two of them, one of them's on top of the other one. They all have long trench coats on.
Nothing to see here. Move along, folks.
Move along. I
Nothing to
am
see
the
here.
sheriff here. What seems to be the problem?
You know, you said you've noticed him from 30-something, but I noticed that guy from Wings. That early 90s TV show.
Yeah, I know what Wings.
I didn't watch it a lot.
Who was it? Lowell in this movie, or who is it?
Yes, Lowell was in Wings. Yeah.
No, is
guy,
that the guy?
No, he's the one that plays one of the brothers.
Oh, Steven Weber.
Yeah, this is not Steven Weber, but the other one.
Oh, Tim Daly.
Yeah. Was it Tim? I thought it was Peter Horton.
Oh, for fuck.
Oh God, Here we go. It's a Wings reunion in the cornfield. Look, just looking at these little bastards. I mean, like, I'm not going to be caught by this. One skinny kid and then the little guy, with
the Munchkin Land.
Yeah. Like, we represent the Lollipop Guild.
The Lollipop Guild. Peter Horton, you're right. Peter Horton.
Who was on Wings? Peter Horton was on Wings?
And Steven Weber.
Tim Daly and Steven Weber were the two leads.
Yeah, those were the brothers.
What was Peter Horton in then? What am I thinking of?
Oh, 30-something. That's right.
Yeah.
30-something, and then in the late 90s, he was in that short-lived Gina Davis led series, I think called Gina or something like that. And they actually introduced him on the show. And that guy, Gina Davis, and that guy from 30-something. I remember that.
Yeah.
That was the commercial for it. I'm like, yeah.
Like, Gina Davis was hot when she was younger. And then, like, she's like, I don't know. Does she have like that giant person disease? Like she just, she don't look right. She don't look right no more.
Yeah, I can't give him shit. I can't give her shit. I got a friend like that. I've been friends with him. He was like huge when they were kids, and it's not like he's got fat. It's like he just keeps getting taller, and he might actually have that disease. I don't know, but he just keeps getting bigger.
Giant,
like the Andre the Giant disease. Is it giantism?
Yeah.
Now that's who they missed for this. They should have Andre the Giant in this.
Yeah, like Andre versus all the kids.
Yeah, no,
have him playing one of the kids.
Yeah,
have him playing one of the kids. This is 84. Yeah.
How old is that kid? He's 12. I'm 12 years old.
We eat a lot of corn.
Corn must be sacrificed.
They love my corn.
I make whiskey because I drink a lot. That's what they're trying to. That's what they're doing. They're giving Andre the Giant.
I want to shoot my corn in them.
You just spoiled the whole plot of the movie. You
You
give it all away. That's what happened. The kids figured out how to make their own whiskey. They're sitting down there in the cornfield drunk. It's just like, hey, you want to kill all our parents? Fuck yeah, let's do it.
I'll kill everybody.
Fuck those fuckers.
Oh shit.
We just figured it out, dude. We just wrote a new movie. So there you go.
Exactly. Coming soon from Dognut Media.
Dog shit media.
Dog shit media.
I'm sorry, I made a mistake.
It's
Dog
changing
shit
now.
Yeah, we're gonna have to rename it now.
That's right. It's not that popular.
I totally forgot where I was at now.
Because we're making fun of the movie.
So Bert's hiding with Job now, and we get seen with Malachi in the middle of the street doing the famous word. Cue the music. Cue the rolling video.
Oh, okay, the video. All right, hold on.
Outlander! Get over there. He's gonna come. Get over there. Over there. All right, come with me down this street. Outlander! Outlander!
Walmart parking lot?
Outlander!
Discount prices today if you murder somebody.
Do you want to play the little
Yeah.
the little montage of people? You asked people to do it, and you had some people jump on this. So
Yeah.
All right, here's a little their Outlander.
They're sort of stranded, and I was
Wrong thing. Oh, wrong thing.
Outlander! Outlander!
Outlander!
Outlander. Hey, man. Where you at? Call me.
Who did the best Outlander?
I like Cody's. I mean,
Yeah,
I sounded more authentic, but Cody wanted to put his own spin, and I kind of like the spin. It's like, hey, man, we should hang out sometime. Outlander, where have you been?
Where are you, Outlander?
Outlander, where are you? Come inland.
You are
Come
no
inland.
longer on the outside. You're in the town, so now you're an inlander. So yeah, but they never did tell us why Sarah has this power to see them coming into town. That's the one thing I kind of regret not knowing.
Did they cover it in the book?
I'm sure they do. I haven't read it since I was.
But they just didn't cover
so
it in the.
Don't remember.
Yeah. I got you.
But that's what protects Sarah and Job is the fact that she can see these things, and Isaac kind of uses that to his advantage. So, because Malachi just wants to kill these kids, like, you're not supposed to play music, motherfuckers. Like, but they broke the rule. And he's like, question me not, Malachi. I am the keeper of his word.
Did he grow up to be the dad from Footloose or what? The preacher from Footloose? Like, no music and no dancing.
Okay, if you want to see a good Courtney Gaines movie, there was that Can't Buy Me Love. He plays the best friend in that.
Oh.
And he looks just like Malachi still. That's what kind of makes it a great role.
That's a terribly underrated character actor.
Yes.
He got typecast, man.
Yeah, he did, and just such great comedic chops. Which, like I said, I haven't seen The Wrath of Becky yet, but I'm psyched for it. Well, we got Stifler and Courtney Gaines in the movie. I mean, come on.
Yeah. And I think my favorite part of this whole movie is the fact that when they hang Isaac in his place instead of the Blue Man, I think that was like a bold move, because obviously at that point the kids didn't believe in Isaac anymore, because Malachi's the one that's doing all the killing. He's doing all the threatening, cutting Sarah Connor's face, and it's so everybody's looking up to Malachi now. But don't we get a shock when after Bert gets Vicky out of the cornfield, we get that shock where Isaac is now not on there. And it's basically He Who Walks Behind the Roses in Isaac now. And we get that iconic line, he wants you too, Malachi. And he's like this crazy demon looking thing. He like grabs him and he lifts like Malachi up off the ground. And I thought that was a very effective scene, because you finally kind of understand what the He Who Walks Behind the Roses is. Because through the whole movie, I'm like, is this like some like figure that we're never gonna like get to see? But you get to see a little bit. You don't see the actual demon itself, but you see the movements underground, and then you see it come through Isaac and lifts Malachi up. So it was kind of an underwhelming reveal, but it still kind of was effective. If you guys know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Because I really dug that scene, and then of course they have to figure out how to kill the cornfield, because basically the cornfield is He Who Walks Behind the Rose. And I like the ending. Oh yeah, I was going to touch on Rachel one more time. Let me touch on you, baby. So so Rachel is the only survivor of this, because now they killed Isaac. All the other kids are now no longer under the power, I guess, because they were all helping to destroy the field. And you get that jump scare at the end when Rachel's in the back seat and she yells, "Outlander!" too. And he knocks her out and is like, "What are we gonna do?" He's like, send her a postcard, like, get well soon. But I think that could have been a great sequel, having like Rachel now kind of carry on the legacy. That was a missed opportunity right there. Because I was frightened of Rachel. Like she was like the female version of Malachi, but now everybody can be a female version of Malachi these days.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Trans
Malachi.
I was just concerned about that, that baseball field out there in the cornfield. I mean, did that perish too?
Oh, I know, huh? We could all play a good game before that got blown up.
Shoeless Joe Jackson walks out of the corn, looking around like, what? And the kids just pile on him, start stabbing him to death.
The two universes come together, the crossover we didn't want, but you're getting. Field of Dreams and Children of the Corn.
Children of the Dreams. There we go.
That sounds like a Freddy movie.
Yeah.
Or a porno movie.
What?
Yes, I went down that rabbit hole. People.
Oh no!
Children of the pedophiles.
Maybe on Epstein Island's fucking DVD set or something.
Hey, what's it the point to try to get kicked off of YouTube?
He wants you too, Giseline.
Oh my god!
He wants you too. But yeah, so I mean, if I'm going to give a ranking. Well, I'll start with you guys first. What on not the PBR scale because that's your gig. We'll give it skulls. We'll come up with skulls.
Skulls.
Yes.
Yeah. I want your skulls.
I don't like to drink skulls.
Out of 5 skulls.
Yeah.
Aaron, you like to drink skulls? I don't.
No, I don't. Well, Skull had that vodka that Dan Aykroyd made. That shit's expensive though.
There we go. Skullhead vodka. How many shots of Skullhead vodka? How about that?
How about a sip? Because that shit's expensive. Just for a skull. I mean, it's like I'd probably take a sip.
Well, if you had 5 of them at your dispense, how many would it take?
Okay. Of course, the Skull vodka. Oh man, how many shots?
Out of 5.
Oh, out of 5. Okay. I'd take 2 shots on this one because have some fun while watching it. I need to rewatch it. If I knew I was gonna have to step in, it was kind of last minute. And I was like, oh shit, I wish I watched it again. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it when I saw it, and I think I rewatched it a couple of years back. So I really doing it disservice, because I'm as I'm talking, I remember little parts here and there. But I had 2 shots, man. I'll do 2 shots and watch this thing.
I'd completely forgot until you brought it up, the opening diner scene.
Yeah,
it's an iconic film. I mean, it deserves its place in the 80s slasher plethora of great films. I mean, and I don't think it gets near the love it deserves. And that being said, I probably haven't watched it in 25 years, but but I remember it making an impact on me when I did.
So how many shots would you need?
I like to drink. I do.
You're not really getting shots. Okay,
I'm not.
These are figurative shots. You're not really drinking.
What?
I was promised alcohol for this.
I'm fucking out of here. Jesus, I was promised. God damn.
Hey, we'll give you some for the road, okay?
No. Yeah, I'll give it 3 shots. 3 shots. And that's not. I mean, that's a positive rating because it's good, but it's not so good that or it's not so bad that I don't want to get trash, so I don't have to pay attention to it. But it's good enough to keep me interested and also want to drink.
There you go.
Well, I'll take 2 shots. one for me, and I'll just give one to Cody because he wants another one. So.
Thank you.
Oh,
But
man.
yeah, I would like if it was just me, I would take the one shot because there's so many good moments in this movie. Yeah, there's parts that drag. Like I think every horror movie has some part that it drags a little bit. But when he's trying to get the story from Job in the basement, I think that could probably gone without. But overall, I found this movie very enjoyable. It's one of my, I'd say probably top 3 Stephen King movies. And
now, what scene? And it pops in my head. And is this the first movie where the house falls on the lady? Where they're low?
No, that's part 2.
That's part 2. Okay, so see, I'm getting them mixed up. So part 2 is okay. So when we cover part 2, that'll be my favorite scene.
Yeah, well, the sequels we're just gonna kind of skim over because I didn't get to watch any of them, and I've only seen 1 through 4, and then I seen 666, and I think I seen Revelations. I think it's called. So I haven't really seen all this.
Let's see. Mark your calendars for the 13th of July, and we'll come back and do part 2, and then so on and so forth. Just once a year, revisit the Children of the Corn.
Yeah, we'll cut. Yeah, 2024 coming to the sequel.
Next time we'll bring some corn whiskey, though.
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
especially once we get further out in the sequels. You got they will require some harder.
And stay tuned for my short film, Children of the Cannabis, because that's going to happen.
We need,
and followed closely by Children of the Robinsons.
Look for it on Indiegogo.
No, this is gonna be a pile of shit. Like I'm just gonna make it on a shoestring budget, and maybe a shoestring is too much. But no, I think that's a good idea. Children of the Cannabis. Have someone on, a weed cross or something. With everybody's getting high because it's on fire.
Light this place on fire. Yeah. But yeah, so part 2 is the only one I think deserves any kind of credit because at least they did talk about Gatlin, the tragedy of Gatlin. And I didn't recognize one of these kids, but supposedly these were some of the surviving kids that come over from Gatlin, and people.
Yeah, none of. Well, we're talking about 8 years later too.
Yeah.
True. But the part to me is like, would you, as a parent, you guys are both parents, would you guys adopt one of these kids?
No.
Oh, by the way, they came from a place where they killed all their parents. You want to adopt them?
You want to adopt this one? No.
I don't think my youngest stepson has killed anybody, but
well, stay out from underneath the house,
Yeah.
And the only other one I actually really kind of enjoyed was part 3, Urban Harvest, because I like the different setting. It's in the city, so it's and
it's so ridiculous. It's hilarious.
Yeah, exactly.
Children of the Corn in the city.
But you know what? The leader in this one is the younger. It's like, I think his name is Eli, and he actually is very convincing as like a leader.
Huh.
Like he takes all these inner city kids and he basically like corrals them all in, kind of like Isaac did. Like he's preaching to them and they're all listening and they're like, yeah, that makes sense. Like what he's saying. So I give it up for the casting. I think his name is Daniel Carney. I really think he did a good job in this movie. Yes, it's ridiculous. It's a stranger in a strange land type movie. But you know what? I find that was the last really one that I kind of dug. 666 was okay just for the callback, bringing Isaac back.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. It was cool. It was cool to see Isaac and John Franklin back because that's good that they recasted John Franklin too instead of gave us a different Isaac
Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah. What if they would have got Courtney Gaines back for that one too though?
Oh, that would have spiced it up. It'd probably be my second favorite.
I mean, he probably wasn't doing much at the time.
No, probably not. But we still need a Rachel movie. A Rachel killed in the corn.
Rachel Ray.
Rachel Ray. Children of the Kitchen.
That sounds like a cannibal movie. Like you're cooking kids.
We're just over here brewing up the pot right now. I'll get you, my pretty.
We got all these dead adults. We got to do something with them.
But yeah, so I think my next topic is going to be. I may end up doing The Prey because I just seen the boys over at Exploding Heads just review The Prey, but I got to find the shortened version that they were talking about. I might do that in the future. Maximum Overdrive is waiting just to get put on Rumble because YouTube will eat that fucking video alive with all the music in that. And what other? Yeah. Hey, I might do another Stephen King one. I might do another Stephen King one. Maybe I might do Christine.
So, that'd be cool.
Or Sleepwalkers.
Sleepwalkers, yeah. What about Lawnmower Man?
Oh man, I hadn't thought of that in forever.
Yeah.
Well, I like the actor in that. I think it's Jeff Fahey is in that.
Yeah.
And Jeff Fahey was in Psycho 3, and he tore up the scenery in Psycho 3. Like
another one of those great, terribly underrated character actors.
Yes. Because a lot of people hate on Psycho 3, but Psycho 2 and 3 are great sequels. I don't care what anyone says.
Psycho 2 and 3, yeah. Absolutely.
I will even say 4 is a great sequel too. You get the little backstory on, like, you get to see little Norman when he's younger. Henry Thomas plays.
Elliot from E.T. Murdering bitches, but
yeah.
But I thought I don't hate Psycho 4. I don't. I mean, it was like a Showtime direct Showtime movie. I don't think got a theatrical release, but it was Anthony Perkins' last time in that role. So yeah, it still holds weight for me. Yeah.
Oh, if you want to see a good Anthony Perkins movie, there was one that he did in, I think it was the 90s, called Edge of Sanity.
Yeah.
He takes his shot at the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde type character, and man, does he play that to the movie overall isn't that great, but I watch it for fucking Anthony Perkins because he
was a great actor. He really was.
Terrific actor. Dare I say my favorite actor of all time. I've said it.
But back on Psycho 4, though, the one more thing I'd like to say about it. It wasn't the greatest movie. It had a great cast. The story was a little weak, but we got a definitive end to the character, and something extremely rare in slasher films. We got a happy ending.
Yeah.
For the character, and I thought that was a great way for the character of Norman Bates to go out.
Yeah.
He was always this very tragic character, and to see him come out on top at the end, I was okay with that.
Yeah, I was too. But like every movie all the Psycho movies, all the way back to the original to the part 4, the character Norman Bates was always so intriguing to me. Like, I like every movie. I wanted to know a little bit more about, and that's kind of why I do like 4, is because you get to see his character when he was younger, and like what happened between his mother and the boyfriend, and so you kind of see why he grew up the way he did.
Holy shit, his mom in that though.
Oh my god.
She was in a ton of
Hussey.
Olivia Hussey. Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
Woo.
Yeah, that's definitely a mom I like to, fuck.
Whoa.
Hey, remember I was younger then, so that she would be considered a MILF.
Yes.
Remember that scene where that was kind of the unsettling scene with Norman massaging her leg. That was a little unsettling. I was like, damn, are they going to show
or when she's running around out there in that skimpy sundress? Yeah, if I was Henry Thomas, I would have been going, ouch.
Where's my nudity magazines? I need it right now. But yeah, so
I'd like to phone your home.
might have to do now. I might have to do a Norman Bates podcast one.
Yeah,
I'd love to go to the Psycho films again, man. I really all four of them. Like I said, 4 is easily the weakest one, but it has
satisfying
a lot of redeeming qualities to it, and I thought it was a good bookend to the series. But man, every one of the films is so different. But like you said, it's one of those few film slasher franchises that holds its continuity really well. It's all one cohesive story, and yet so different with every film, stylistically.
Well,
and
I
every
think Norman Bates one, yes, with Anthony Perkins. But
yeah, you don't get bored with it.
Did you like the remake?
I went to the theater to see it. I was so psyched for it because I like Vince Vaughn. He was new on the scene at the time. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to give it a shot. I love Psycho, but, fuck, this is the 90s. We're not getting a lot of horror at the time. I'm like, fuck, we're getting a Psycho remake? Fuck yeah. And and I go to watch it. I'm like, oh, my God, this is so bad.
Yeah, it's almost word for word.
Yeah,
there's no change up, and like you, I was a big Vince Vaughn fan too, and I was like, I wonder how he's gonna portray the role of Norman, and he even tried to emulate the things, and it was like, dude, do your own fucking Norman Bates. You're not Anthony Perkins, and I was so disappointed that it was just a word
be Vince Vaughn, Anthony Perkins.
Yeah. So I was very upset with the whoever gave the green light to that should be castrated, honestly.
Well, this
taken to the cornfield. That's where they need
to
be.
What do you think? I mean, this was 3 years before the Texas Chainsaw Massacre remake, which launched the whole big remake boom.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think if the Psycho remake would have been released, the exact same movie, if it would have been released maybe 4 or 5 years later, that it would have been received a lot better?
No, I don't, because it didn't really have, with the remakes or reboots, they kind of have their own thing going. With Texas Chainsaw Massacre, it kind of followed the same story, but they kind of added a little in there, and there was a lot more gore in it.
Yeah.
So to follow it exactly to the T, it's just you're tracing, instead of creating your own.
And look at how many of the horror remakes we got during the early 2000s that were just humongous flops, and they just kept making them. They just kept doing it, and because I guess it was making enough money to.
Well, Dawn of the Dead, you guys covered that. Dawn of the Dead was one of the exceptions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, we got a lot of great remakes in that time too, but equally as many or more just god awful remakes.
Yeah. No, I agree. But just piggyback what you said about Texas Chainsaw remake. The guy who plays Leatherface in that is a complete dick, but man, he played the character Leatherface really well. I will say that.
Let's be honest. It was R. Lee Ermey's movie. Both of those.
Yeah.
Films.
Oh yeah. R. Lee Ermey.
He was the star.
R. Lee Ermey could do a 10-second segment and still make it his. That's how good of an actor he is. So when I heard he was going to be in that movie, of course I had to rewatch Full Metal Jacket before I watched this. And he's literally pretty much the same character. He's still kind of like an asshole. He's still kind of in your face. Except now he took over as sheriff because he killed the sheriff.
When I first heard he was going to be in the film, I thought, okay, R. Lee Ermey, Full Metal Jacket, he is going to be Drayton Sawyer. And then they went a completely different route with it, and it worked great. I mean, but I don't know. The movie, I absolutely loved it when I first saw it at the theater, and I've watched it I don't know how many times since. But in more recent watches, it hasn't held up near as well. It hasn't really stood the test of time. The test of time like the original.
the Tapper time. What about the beginning? Did you like the beginning?
I did.
Yeah,
I did.
Yeah.
Not as much as the remake, but I liked it. I mean, and they were smart. They really made this one to showcase R. Lee Ermey. They realized, hey, he's the fucking star here. So, it was good. The ending was a bit ridiculous. Of course, you knew that nobody was going to get away because it was a prequel. But him chainsawing her through the back seat. I mean, come on. It was stupid. That being said, in those those bigger sedans, there was probably room to fit a 24-inch blade chainsaw in the back seat and run it through the front. So maybe I'm being a little overcritical. But.
Well, you know what? I'm going to tell you this: the best actor in the whole series, besides R. Lee Ermey, was in the worst movie, Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah,
as Wilmer.
I am Next Generation apologist. Yeah, I thought he was great.
Yeah,
from the first time I saw it, because I originally saw the preview for it, like on a VHS, the teaser for it. I saw it like in 91 or 92.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I was psyched for it, and then it didn't come out till 96 or 97.
Yeah, it was after like Jerry Maguire. After that hit big.
Yeah. And then it got released, and I'm like, holy shit! Where has this movie been?
Yeah.
And I watched it with a high school buddy of mine at his grandparents' house, and I remember thinking, wow, this movie doesn't make a lot of sense, but this villain here, this guy's probably going to go on to do things.
Yeah. The character,
Renee Zellweger, I was like, yeah, she's kind of forgettable.
Yeah. Her character in this is like very forgettable. But Wilmer, what a character that was! Like they could have made a Wilmer movie, and I would have gone see it. That character was so intriguing. That's the only thing that kept me watching the movie because.
All right, race fans.
Yeah, Leatherface is terrible in this. Robert Jacks plays Leatherface. All he does is fucking whine and cry the whole movie, and I'm like, it's like, shut the fuck up.
Well, we get a transgender Leatherface. If that movie was released today, it would be a fucking right there.
But watch out, you might get canceled, like they say on the new one. The what was it? The Netflix one or whatever that was. Was it Netflix?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Texas Chainsaw. Yeah.
Dude, you're gonna get canceled. Cancel this motherfucker. I would have shoved the chainsaw up his ass.
Yes. Finally. I will say that for that film, and I've said it before. But finally we get an actual massacre in the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yes. That's the one thing I will give that movie credit for, and the ending, the jump ending when you think that they're all safe now, and then he cut her head off?
Yeah, dragged her out of the car, out of the self-driving the Tesla or whatever, and lame ending.
You didn't like the ending?
No, so many things about that movie were so lame, but we did get a fucking Chainsaw Massacre in Bulgaria, so
not in Texas, folks.
In the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, we got a Texas Chainsaw Massacre film. We got a Chainsaw Massacre, so I have to give it credit for that.
Hey, I'm gonna pitch an idea, Aaron.
Okay,
we need to get Tyree to play Leatherface.
Okay,
and have we'll have a fan film of all the dog shit media. We'll all come down there and film Tyree slaughtering all of us.
That'd be cool. I think he'd be down for that, especially if he gets to kill me.
I was gonna say he gets to kill the Great Poe.
Yeah, take me out. Let's do it.
But he has to now take care of you kids in return.
They're pretty well grown. They'll be okay.
Yeah. You don't have to take care of nothing.
So, you guys want to plug anything?
My bladder.
How about this? The Backwoods Horror Show podcast.
Ooh, that looks awesome. Wow.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go, Poe.
Hey, is that the guy that can't carry a podcast?
Yeah, dude, it's pretty
and
much
the guy who doesn't know shit about shit. Yeah.
It's a terrible show. Don't go.
Horrible.
Well, don't go see it then.
Don't subscribe.
Don't subscribe. Don't like. Pretty horrible stuff there.
Don't watch it. Listen on Rumble.
Hey,
it's on Rumble.
All seriousness, though, you guys are pulling in some good numbers there.
Yeah, man. No, the last one they did was awesome. I mean, all of them are good. So yeah, check them out on Rumble and YouTube as well, but more Rumble. Then we got Grandpa's playlist. Go check it out. I believe he has a new one coming soon.
Yeah, I think he said that he was working on something new.
Yeah, and then of course Sunday morning show with me, Joey T, and Grandpa the Nerd. Check it out, the Brew Crew on Sunday mornings, 9 Central. Any
updates on the Near Do Well show?
As soon as we can get one done, we will. I mean, it's summertime. He's busy. I'm busy. He actually picked up extra hours at work, so
nice.
I'm just plugging the guarantee, and that's the Sunday morning show is pretty much guarantee. So we try to do it.
Always great too. Always great.
We cover everything.
If you're not checking out the Brew Crew, you're really missing out.
Thank you. And can you do me a favor, Mr. Poe?
Yo,
we're gonna promote the guys who are the new theme song to Father Mahoney's House of Horrors.
Okay.
Evil X, and if you could just play, because Cody wasn't here, can you play a snippet for him?
Of the intro?
Yeah.
Okay. See if I can't pull it up in my videos.
That was good. I liked it.
That's a great.
Really catchy.
Shit.
Yeah, it fits in with the intro too. That's what I like. Is it the intro? I was worried that it wouldn't go in sync with the pictures that you had, but it was fine.
I mean, I'm on it, bro. I mean, I'm trying. Let's see.
We call it the intro to the outro.
Yeah. Well, you know what? We'll just play the intro. Hold on, real quick. We're gonna confuse the fuck out of people. That's. See, there you go.
Cool. Yeah, nice.
Very nice.
So yeah, go check out those guys on Spotify. And if you want, you can actually find a couple of the songs on YouTube also. So check those guys out. They're from Ohio. So I'll tell Cripple Cody about them because he's an Ohio guy.
Yeah.
And I've known them for a while, and they were gracious enough to let me use the music. So no copyright issues because these guys are friends of mine. So
hell yeah. And the premiere at a little theater in California for Ken H. Brew's Zombie Rage
Ooh.
is happening. Don't know when that's going to officially go out for everyone to see, but I guess it's done, and they're doing a movie premiere. So yeah, Zombie Rage, Ken Ace Brewer film. Go check it out. Living Media.
And then he also has Death Bitch, right?
Death Bitch is in. It's in like post production, like it's or pre production. Sorry, they're still getting stuff together for it. So, and they're still talking to people they want in the film and all that. So that's going to be his action type revenge film. So it's going to be pretty cool.
Throw back to the 80s.
Pretty much,
films. Yeah. I'm excited for that.
Hell yeah! So Ken's our buddy. He's doing great things. Go ahead.
Before I promote anything myself, it'd be stupid of me not to mention Mr. Morgan Wellborn.
Oh yeah,
Hellvira, Haunted Asylum of Horror. Hellvira. Yeah, go help on his Indiegogo. I believe he's at about 2,000 right now. So whatever you can contribute. If you can't contribute, share. So
yeah,
sharing is caring.
There you go.
We need this film to get made, folks. So
get on it.
Throw them a few dimes here and there.
What were you gonna say, Aaron? I heard you say.
No, I was just gonna mention 2 GoFundMe's we have for Cody.
Yeah.
Cripple Cody.
GoFundMe / help Cody out.
Yep. And this one as well, Rob, for your sister.
Yeah, my sister Donna, she has stage 4 cancer, and she lives on the 3rd floor because she's in housing, and housing list is ridiculously long. So her getting in and out of that house is so much work, and so she needs just anything you guys can send. If it's $5, there's also an address in there if you don't want to contribute to the Indiegogo, you can send gift cards, a letter saying that you care about what's going on with her. Anything. There's an address, a physical address inside that you can send get well cards or whatever you guys want to do, and share. Definitely, always share. And the last thing I want to plug, I'll plug it and then I'll let you go back to you.
Okay, go ahead.
I am now on Cameo. So if you guys want a happy birthday, a graduation welcome, or anything you guys want, $9. That's all I'm charging, $9. So, and all the proceeds that I'm going to be getting will be going towards that foundation for my sister. So I'm not keeping any of that. That's for a good cause, and $9 gets you this pretty mug.
Yeah. A personalized message from the one and only Bruins guy, Boston Rob.
Yep. Yeah, I just saw that guy yesterday.
Savior of 2020. So,
the savior of 2020.
So, if nothing else, everybody, check out the Cameo. Check out the GoFundMes.
You're all alive because of me.
What we're getting at is let's help each other out. It's a very unpleasant time in the world right now, and with everything that's going on worldwide. And let's spread some positivity.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And we got our Teespring live.
Yes.
Yep.
So here's all we got: Brew Crew Army, Dognut Media. We got pint glasses. We got shirts for your dog. We got coffee mugs. We got ne'er-do-wells. We got, oh, look at that. What is that? A Father Mahoney's t-shirt. Check it out.
Nice.
Yeah. Nice. And there's going to be different themed ones. I know we talked about it where it's kind of like a little, I guess, homage to like different horror movies, and it'll have Father Mahoney.
Hey,
so that's the recent one.
Where was the dog shit media one?
That's coming soon. Coming soon.
I'll buy that shirt. I'm not even kidding. I'll wear it proudly.
Well, you even have stuff on there. You got Backwoods Horror pint glass and everything.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Yeah, you didn't know you had a pint glass on there?
I didn't know we had a pint glass.
Look, there's pint glass. Hold on, let's go through it again.
Let's see here.
No, you have to go and see yours, but this is what
I
I'll
like
look
the
like.
Brew Crew.
Look at that. Dognut Media pint glass. So you got pint glass, you got coffee mugs, you got everything your little heart could desire with all of our crap on it.
Nice.
So if you're interested, I don't know why I created a store. Everybody's like, why don't we create a store? I said, okay. And I've created stores before, but no one buys from them except for us. So
yeah, that Christy girl could probably buy one, right?
Hey, I guilted my old lady into buying one.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, and all that, you think, oh, okay, well, then we're going to give them money. You know, with Teespring, they give you a little bit more of percentage, but all that goes to what we're doing here. It goes to paying for the StreamYard and everything. Yeah, that's all it's going to. It's not going to like a fancy yacht or anything. Maybe one day.
I gotta mail you some penny rolls to help out.
That's all right. Don't worry about it. I mean, it's not super expensive, but I mean, hey, it's something. You know, it's something.
Can I mail you a kid?
Hey, Aaron, do you still have Pro Talks?
No.
Okay. Because I wanted to ask that before I just say one more thing. If anybody wants to be a future guest on Father Mahoney's House of Horrors, just drop me a dime, leave a comment. I'm on Facebook at Rob Mahoney. You'll see a picture of Father Mahoney's House of Horrors in the background.
There you go.
I'm on Instagram, so reach out.
There you go. Reach out, be a guest on Father Mahoney's House of Horrors. So.
And hopefully sometime in the near future, we'll get to premiere Politics.
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm involved in so much, so I'm just like...
We've got to get Joey T in on that too, though. I think that would be a great...
The Brew Crew, like, we already cover, like, everything on the Brew Crew.
You're right.
So,
right.
I mean...
You really are. And that, like I said, that's even more reason for everybody. Check out Brew Crew almost every Sunday morning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can just make that a segment on the show.
I've done it, but then we just end up on a roll, and it's just that so fluid that I don't like to interrupt it with segments anymore because we just like go, and it's just like I don't know. It's manifesting into something I don't know, but we enjoy it, and we got people that that have never listened to me talk before, and now they're listening to the show. So and they're related.
It's a great show.
I'm gonna steal Grandpa's thunder for a second.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
What pisses me off is that there's no fucking politics.
No one cares about my politics. I'll tell you that. Oh man.
No, Joey should have a segment every week where the conspiracy theory of the week. That should be like his segment.
Joey just needs his own show on here. I don't know what we could call it. Maybe Jacked Mind.
There's a lot. There's stuff swimming around. We don't know, but we'll announce it. But there's ideas floating around for different things. I know there's stuff that we want to do, and other people want to do. So we might have some more shows. Hopefully this year, joining Dognut Media. And different personalities.
You guys want to be part of it. Reach out to one of us.
I mean, we got some people that we're talking to, so you don't just see the same folks all the time. We're trying to get different faces and talents and stuff.
Yeah, we're trying to get good-looking people.
So yeah,
we're trying to get good-looking people instead of our ugly bugs.
But yeah, big stuff's happening, dude. We got some good stuff coming.
Nice. So I think this wraps up this show. I just want to thank you guys for stepping in. And by the way, once again, prayers are sent out to William Von Grimm and his family. William, we're all praying for you, buddy. And next time, whenever you feel like you want to come back on, I don't care when, if it's next week, next month, next year, or never, just tell me I never want to come on your show ever again.
I never want to come on your show ever again.
No, you're stuck. I mean, you're screwed.
You're stuck. You know, it pisses me off when Cody says he doesn't want to be on my show.
You know what really grinds my gears? Okay.
On that note, thank you guys, and we'll see you in about 2 weeks. I will be announcing what segment I'm going to be doing. There's a couple of different ones I have an idea, but thank you once again for anyone who commented in there, or if you just peeked and said, "What the fuck is this shit?"
I think that's pretty much all Rumble is, but
that's all. That's all.
Thank you anyway for peeping Tomming us or whatever you do.
Yeah, peeping.
But and everybody check out this coming Monday. Backwoods Horror returns. The Backwoods Boys are going down to Falk, Arkansas to dance ballet with the Falk Monster, Mr.
Nice.
Bigfoot himself. So
awesome.
Nice. So check that out and keep up with the dog shit media. I mean dog nut media. Now Cody got me saying it. Dog shit media.
It just rolls off your tongue. I mean, come on.
Yeah. I can tell something else that will roll off my tongue. Olivia Hussey.
Hey.
Good night, folks.
Good night, folks. On that note, bye.
Amazing.
Yo, the dog worked